Welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Kevin Robinson. And Coach, you're starting to head, as we were talking before the interview, toward conference championships. And so looking to kind of finish strong here over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And you had a good outing at Ole Miss over the weekend. So tell us about that overall. Let's start out with the women's.
I think, kind of like what we touched on last week, we're still in a building / preparatory phase for the team. So, they're still under a pretty heavy training volume, pretty heavy training load. So we are starting to see some positive performances on the track competitively. We had, Maya, she had a great race this weekend. She ran 58 mid in the 4 hurdles, broke her own school record again. She did a phenomenal job, and I feel like Maya is at a place where, when we back off and let her feel good again, and those hamstrings are feeling a little fresh, she's going to do very, very well. So I think, Maya's kind of scratching the surface right now, and I definitely anticipate some better performances from her. Across the board, I think we improved tremendously on the women's side. We had very few girls that did not leave with either a personal best or a season best this weekend. So I attribute that to their hard work and their persistence, and of course we had cooperative weather there on Saturday at least. Sunday was a little different story. But all in all, I felt like it was a pretty good performance by the women's team, and they're on a mission, like I've touched on a couple of times. They enjoyed getting second place, but they don't want to do it again, and they're looking to perform at a higher level, and they're very motivated at this point.
Talk about the men over the weekend.
The men's side, we definitely had a much better meet on the men's side. We had quite a few throwers to step up and improve substantially. We had a great performance by Austin Carter in both the 15 and the 800. I feel like across the board we did a much, much better job. Lewis, who's a freshman for us, he handily won the decathlon there. And in the process, he became the #1 long jumper in the conference. So he had a huge personal best in the long jump, and he was on pace to score really, really high, and then the weather at Ole Miss kind of shut us down a little bit on Sunday. But he did a great job. He's one of the highest ranked freshmen in the country right now in the decathlon. So, all in all, I think it was a solid meet. Right now I'm really high on the team. I feel like we're doing the things we need to do to get better. I think our mental preparation gets better with every week, and just seems like when the sun comes out and things warm up, everybody gets a little more energized, and some of those little nagging injuries start to dissipate a little bit. So this weekend going into Auburn, we're kind of hoping for the same thing, that the weather will allow us to perform at our highest level, and we stay healthy and injury-free, and I think we'll continue where we're going.
Do you like the way the men are coming along now? Because it looks like your runners, your sprinters, your hurdlers are starting to come along. We knew the field eventers had done pretty well in the indoor, coming to the outdoor. What are your thoughts on the progress right now?
I definitely think we're improving. Now, as a coach, the improvement never comes quickly enough, So I feel like we're doing a good job, and we have a tremendous amount of talent on the men's side. It's the most talented team I've ever coached here. So we've got to put these guys in a position where at one meet, each and every one of them steps up at the same time. And we just haven't had that meet yet where everybody's performed. So, we've got a great group of vaulters. We have a nice group of decathletes. Our middle distance and distance program is really starting to come alive. And like you said, our hurdlers are doing a great job. They're starting to wake up a little bit. And Giorgio is jumping better. He was an All-American last year. He's definitely starting to get back into his stride from the previous season. So we're getting there. Again, not as quickly as I would like, but at the same time, I know that we're talented. I know we have the tools to be successful. We just got to be able to put it together when it matters.
Tell us about this meet down at Auburn.
It should be highly, highly competitive. There's going to be, I'm not sure how many teams are going to be there yet because it hasn't been released, but we did this meet last year, and there were a number of professional athletes, number of SEC schools, Penn State and Syracuse have come down in the past. So we're hoping that we will be in a situation where we get to compete against some of the better teams in the country. And I think that if we can do so and the weather cooperates, I think that our team will come back this weekend with some pretty solid performances.
That sounds good, Coach. It seems like every week we're talking about podium finishes in school and personal bests. So both programs starting to really do. I mean, they've done really well, but they're continuing to make progress because, like we said, we're only 3 or 4 weeks away from the championship. So this is the time to really start making those strides.
Yeah, you know, we try to prepare these athletes for the postseason. We're not trying to win any regular season meet. We're trying to build our progression so that our athletes peak when it matters the most, and that is the championship season. And for 15 to 20 of these athletes, the conference meet's not going to be their last meet. They're going to go on to the NCAA preliminary, and hopefully beyond that. We've already got a handful that have qualified for the USA Junior Championships, which is in June. So it's a long season for a lot of these athletes. So for us to put a lot of pressure on them early on for big performances in the regular season is going to be, it's not going to allow us to perform at our best when it matters the most. So that's the challenge that we face is track. It's extremely long season when you combine cross country, indoor and outdoor. So our job as coaches is to manage those kids and make sure that we don't expect too much too soon. And if we do our job well and the kids stay healthy, then I think we'll be ready to put something together.
All right, Coach, best of luck this weekend in Auburn.
Thank you very much.
That is Kevin Robinson. I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.